Lots of crazy out there going on. No lack of that ever. But I thought I might talk to you a little bit, have a little bit of a rant about Donald Trump's, what is it, butch built, bleach blonde, butch built, badly, no, bleach blonde, badly built bill. I need Jasmine Crockett. Where is she when I need her? Okay. You may have seen today that Elon Musk is out against the bill. Elon Musk.
So, I was like disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, doesn't decrease it, and undermines the work that the Doge team is doing.
I actually thought that when this big, beautiful bill came along. I mean, like, everything he's done on Doge gets wiped out in the first year.
I think a bill can be big or it can be beautiful, but I don't know if it can be both. My personal opinion.
And a couple of years ago, you might have said to yourself, "Hey, Elon Musk, the billionaire, is against that bill. A guy that's built this amazingly successful car company, a guy that has this rocket company." And you would have thought, because the tech press is the Tapper Tribune, if you will, that it must all be true, because myth creation is a beautiful thing. And you would have been like, all right, this makes a lot of sense. Right? I mean, if he's saying Donald Trump's bill sucks, it sucks. But the problem is Donald Trump's bill sucks, but not because Elon Musk says it sucks. Elon Musk is the guy, you may remember, who took a incredibly successful car company and literally uniquely found a way to insult every one of his customers. It's like, how can I piss him off the most? I think I'll support a modern day Nazi party in Germany. Hey, I may even do a Sieg Heil for fun.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you.
I'll come out in favor of Donald Trump. I'll fund Donald Trump. I'll make little insinuations about how I cheated for Donald Trump and changed numbers for Donald Trump. I'll do all of that. And all during that time, I'll take over Twitter. I'll hang out with a bunch of weird, freaky incels online, and they'll be my best buds. And I'll insult every single person who buys an electric car. So you may have seen yesterday, electric cars down in Western Europe. I'm sorry, let me say that again. Tesla's down in Western Europe, 49%. Not electric cars, that market's just blossoming, but not Tesla, not the one that was the leader of the pack. You have done fucked your own company so badly. You're Enron, baby. You're Philip Morris. Maybe you should change your name to Altria. That's the kind of brand damage we're talking. So wonderful. And then, of course, there's, hey, your bill is going to create a larger deficit. Well, that would, have a lot more credibility if it didn't come from the guy that created the Doge department, which we've seen numerous analyses is going to cost us billions of dollars.
Now, Doge says these cuts have saved $160 billion. However, according to an estimate by the Partnership for Public Service, Doge's efforts will actually cost taxpayers $135 billion this fiscal year.
I know it's crazy, but there's these weird notions when you're not a weird, just single-minded fool, and you actually can think in a little bit of sort of multi-dimensions about how sometimes actions can prevent bad things from happening in the future. For example, give somebody preventative medicine for free, as Obamacare does, and you don't just wait till they show up in the hospital where everything is 10 times as expensive, they don't have insurance, and guess who ends up footing the bill for that? They'll go into medical bankruptcy, destroy their lives, and then we all end up paying for it, which I'm sure many a MAGA has fallen into that trouble. They are right now, as their farms and their ranches and their 401ks and their jobs and everything else are disappearing because they voted for this chud. But again, it brings you back to cutting all of the things that we do. USAID, by the way, one of the most successful programs in soft power. Reagan was behind it. Clinton was behind they all supported because they got, give kids shots so they don't get malaria or treatments and feed them in all the other countries. You create goodwill. This isn't genius stuff here. Okay. So, of course, he's criticizing this bill, but he has no credibility to. And he's actually right for once. This bill sucks. It's going to destroy, what is it going to cut? 280 billion or whatever it was. I'm losing numbers at this point because there's so many cuts to Medicare. I think it's 580 actually. It's going to destroy Medicaid. Again, preventative measures, which will cost us more money. That's not what Elon cares about, though. I'm sure there's other things in there he doesn't like they're spending money on. But who the hell cares? Like what the overall analysis is from that jack in a box. In the end, he's shown he can't manage a company. He doesn't understand government, yet tried to cut things, and it's going to cost all of us more money. Donald Trump, again, crushing Medicaid, crushing Medicare. This, by the way, will disproportionately hurt MAGAs. So good voting, folks. Snap. Children are going to starve. I wrote a piece about this at Substack. Again, I hope you will subscribe. I hope you'll check out the Substack, blueamp.co. This isn't really hard. If kids don't eat, they starve. When you change a program and say, hey, you know how we said if you had somebody under the age of 18, you get SNAP benefits and you don't have to work? Well, we now just change that to under the age of 7. I'm not kidding you. Yeah, your 6-year-old. I'm going to come up with this weird concept that your 6-year-old may not be able to go to school someday because they might be sick and you can't work. I'm going to come up with another weird concept. There's this thing called summer where 6-year-olds aren't in school. Who's paying for them to have somebody to fucking watch them when their parents aren't? Or do you just want an army of 6-year-olds running around on their own doing whatever? I mean, it's ludicrous, the cuts in this bill. This bill is horrific. It obviously gives Trump a way to ignore subpoenas and things of that nature when he's found in contempt of court. They snuck that in there because who wouldn't want to sneak an anti-constitutional attacking American democracy provision into a freaking budget? And there's more. I mean, obviously, we could sit here and go line by line. This thing is the biggest piece of trash I have seen outside of a flaming, fiery garbage heap. It's ridiculous. So that's what we have. But the fun part is Elon Musk is criticizing Trump. And as we all know, Donald Trump does not take well to that. So those two should be fighting it out soon. I can't wait. I mean, maybe Elon will back down. Maybe Trump will. Maybe Vladimir Putin will just pull the strings on both of them and tell them to shut up. Maybe Peter Thiel will get involved like he did in putting the guy that can't order donuts properly in as our vice president. Who knows? But in the end, I just thought I would rant about the fact that this schmuck, this apartheid fool, came out for once, whatever his reasoning, and said something that made sense, which is this bill is horrific. But he, if the Elon of 5 years ago had done that, we all would have been like, we would have been fooled by the tech press back then and said, oh, okay, see, that smart billionaire, the visionary guy is saying it. Whereas now our response is just that guy, the one who has like 47 children with 16 different women. Yeah, that weirdo, right? The one that comes out on stage and jumps in the air.
And his rocket company is the only reason we can now send American astronauts into space. Come here. Take over, Elon. Just take over.
Like 3 feet high, like he's a toddler. The guy that likes to walk around with flamethrowers and chainsaws, and he has no credibility anymore because personally he is a dunderhead. He's blown up all of his companies in an almost purposeful fashion. It's so stupid. And as we said, there's just the fact that he likes to hail Hitler, and I personally don't tend to trust somebody that does that up on a big stage like the RNC. So again, good job, Elon. You've reminded us all what a schmuck you are. You have also reminded us how terrible this bill is, and we will go and listen to other people about how bad it is. But make sure to keep criticizing and saying how disappointed you are in Donald Trump before we go crying back to him in the Oval Office. We get another audio of you crying about your car company falling apart. Make sure to criticize Trump more because Trump really likes that, and I'm sure that we'll all appreciate the results.